This morning is following the latest job numbers in our state. In the last couple of months, more than 1,900 employees were told their jobs would be cut. The announcements came in something called WARN notices.
Now, these are reports that a company files with the state about layoffs they are planning to make. Let's join live this morning from Knoxville, Mike Kofoed, who is from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. Good morning, Mike. Thank you for being here with us. Let's first start by explaining to people exactly what a WARN notice is and why companies have to file them.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having me on. So a WARN notice, as you mentioned, is the company that is going to lay off workers has to notify the state in advance to ensure that people have an opportunity to plan and look for other employment. And so these are a great forecast for us to understand where the labor market is going and the ability to help people prepare if things are going to go badly soon.
And speaking of the labor market, what kind of trends are you seeing in Tennessee right now, Mike?
Yeah, so right now we have seen 8,423 WARN notices to this point this year. But let's compare that to previous years. In 2024, that was about 6,200, and in 2023, about 4,866. So this implies nearly a doubling as of 2 years ago of layoffs happening, and about a third of an increase from last year. That is a very big and concerning number.
Why do you think this is? Is there any one thing that's leading to this?
So there's a couple of things that are going on. First is some of the uncertainty when it comes to automation and artificial intelligence. But however, where we're seeing these WARN notices isn't really where we would see AI, because it's happening low-end manufacturing. What we think is going on is the tariffs that have been instituted this summer are finally starting to bite. And since consumers are not interested in paying higher prices at the store, firms are going to have to make up that burden that they've been put on by laying off workers and cutting wages.
And Mike, what do you mean by low-end manufacturing? Do you mean smaller, maybe mom and pop type companies that make gadgets for this, that, and the other? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so smaller companies that can't endure the tariffs as well as larger companies, but we're also seeing it in larger employers here in the state. Someone has to pay this tariff, and if it won't be the consumer, then it will have to be the worker.
I see some of these companies that have filed the WARN notices, to your point, they have some of the bigger job numbers attached to them. As I'm looking at the notices now, Shelby County found one, and that includes FedEx. They're laying off 611 people coming up here soon. Right here in Middle Tennessee, Murray County, down at the GM plant, they're laying off 710 people. And when you talk about GM, when you talk about FedEx, those are not mom and pops.
No, they're not. And what is interesting of why it is those firms. FedEx is supply chain. That means there's less products moving through the supply chains for FedEx to hire drivers and folks for. GM, it takes in a lot of steel. And what we've seen the administration do is steel tariffs, which might save some steel jobs in that sector, but it raises the input costs and pushes the tariff cost onto the automobile industry.
All right, Mike Kofoed from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, we appreciate your time. So whether it is the mom and pop low-end manufacturers that you mentioned or the bigger companies, we're seeing a little bit of everything in between. Mike, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hundreds of people line up for